Hey everybody, obviously you've heard the news about the two National Guardsmen that were shot. One has died and the other one's still in critical condition. But this is exactly what I've been talking about for years. What was going to happen. And everybody has been screaming this. Like when you import third world people, you get third world results. When you import third world jihadist Muslims, you get third world jihadist Muslim results. This guy was from Afghanistan. He was a Afghani soldier that worked with the U.S. forces, and I guess was handpicked from the CIA or JSOC or somebody to be part of these zero units or something, that they worked real close with other tier 1 units and stuff, Green Berets or whoever. They were doing stuff that the regular Afghan army wouldn't do or couldn't. But these guys weren't like, they had top of the line gear and stuff and they knew a lot, but they were never trusted. They always felt like U.S. forces always kind of kept an eye on them also during these raids or operations and stuff. So, obviously, the vetting process after the fall of Afghanistan, when we pulled out in 2001, the Abbey Gate incident and all that crap, thousands and thousands of Afghanis men were not vetted. They were not properly vetted. That nothing happened. They said they knew who they were and yada yada yada, but obviously that's not true. Now, this is the type of stuff, I've said it before, this is the stuff that's gonna keep happening unless there's like some major domestic operations and getting these people out. That we can expect this more. There's, for the last, I don't know how many years, 5, 6, 7 years, you've seen an uptick on IEDs, homemade explosives, and implemented IEDs to boot. Now a lot of that stuff was, I think, in place by Antifa or these kind of like communist radical groups and stuff, which you can bet your sweet bippy that the Muslims in the United States are absolutely working with them, because the left-wing communists are kind of they're a means to an end. They're like the cannon fodder for the Muslims. So the uptick in IEDs, roadside bombs, homemade explosives, caches being found all over the southern border and in the United States and Arizona, RPGs, mortars, all this stuff. I mean, this has been happening, but it's not on the mainstream news or anything because they're working with the government also. So all this stuff is happening. So lone shooters, quote unquote, more advanced ambushes absolutely are coming if something doesn't happen. More roadside bombs targeting individuals. You look at the big thing with all these special operators that were getting doxxed and followed, and intelligence gathered and stuff on them by jihadists in the United States. That story, that whole thing went out the window real quick. So there are people veterans in the United States that are being targeted in the United States by jihadis. And I mean, this is going to be the new normal unless something major happens. I don't have a lot of hope in the government that they will take the absolute necessary steps in getting these people out of the country, but I don't expect them to. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. However, this is the perfect time to, one, keep buying ammo, two, keep buying medical stuff, like bulk medical stuff. Go to Rite Aid or Walgreens and stuff, get a bunch of gauze, get even first aid stuff, Band-Aids and whatever, but tourniquets, pressure dressings, all that stuff. Look online. There's tons of videos that you can find on how to use this stuff. There's tons of classes. You can go to your local fire department and get somewhat familiarized with this stuff. Talk to your friends and family, people that live on your street, your neighbors, because this, it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse before it gets worse. You know what I mean? Because I just don't have any faith in our government anymore that they're going to actually do something about it. So it's going to fall onto the citizens' shoulders to take care of it or be the first line of defense, unfortunately. However, the United States, the men of America, the patriotic, strong men of America have what it takes to deal with any threat. We've seen it through history. We have what it takes to do what's necessary and what's right and just for our friends and family and our country. Despite who's behind all this stuff, I mean, we have to take it into our own hands at some point if our federal government is incapable. So just keep prepping, keep preparing. This isn't over. It's not going to be over for a while. I think we're going to be dealing with this for a very long time. So remember, Christ is King. Take it easy.